Hello and welcome back to Nova Drift. Ladies and gentlemen, last episode I mentioned that, I wanted to show you guys my favorite weapon, and that weapon is the Railgun. Of all the weapons that we could choose, the Railgun, it's quite slow firing, and it struggles quite handily against, quite terribly against smaller foes, but it works better versus things that are clumped up and high HP. So let's go ahead and pick up the reflect shield to have a better shield upgrade, and we want to go with this body in particular because it gives us some bonuses, namely rate of fire and projectile velocity, which is going to be very useful to us. I'm going to go ahead and pick up volley here for reasons that I'll explain in a moment. But there's actually two major differences between the railgun and most other weapons. For one, the railgun scales off of projectile velocity, so the more projectile velocity you have, the more damage you have. It's basically a damage multiplier. So taking things like volley, this split shot, which reduces our projectile velocity by 20%, I believe, is surprisingly painful. Now, because it also gives us +2 projectiles, it's like triple damage for minus 20% damage on each shot. I think it also comes with a minus 10% flat damage. So it's like triple damage at the cost of 30% damage decrease per shot. So it's still worth it, but it hurts the railgun a lot worse than other weapons. Now, one other notable thing about the railgun is that the railgun starts quite weak. Unlike something like the rocket barrage, the rocket barrage starts strong, and you get some upgrades for it. It just gets a little bit stronger. The railgun, on the other hand, it starts weak. You get some upgrades for it, and it becomes hilariously powerful. So we're going to go ahead and pick up the focus fire, so we get a nice tight spread. I'm going to pick up targeting to get some... and homing strike as well is quite nice this early. What options do we have? Magnitude. Go with magnitude for bonus damage. And how about payload for even more bonus damage? There we go. So now we have much harder hitting shots. I really need to get my burst fire going. This burst fire is really where the railgun shines. So the railgun's whole thing is that it doesn't have much rate of fire. But if you add rate of fire to it in the form of burst fire, you can get a hilarious amount of shots on screen at once, each of which doing, well, railgun damage. And that's really where entire screens start disappearing. Where is my burst fire? Velocity. Projectile velocity, that's an instant pickup every time. Like 20% projectile velocity, that's just gross damage. Considering that once we get snipe, we can just sit across the screen and we don't have to worry about the projectile spread because the targeting will tighten our shots and seek whatever target we're aiming at. Yeah, that's really what we're looking for here. Come on. Come on, even with this volley, we still struggle a bit versus the swarm type units. Give me you. Twin strike is always an instant pickup because that's +1 projectile, but does not come with the side effect of reducing a projectile velocity. Let's get rate of fire. Sweet Jesus, yes please. Hello. Okay, so that's going to be very, very good here. Where is our burst fire? I need to get that going. The red burst fire upgrade is quite good, but so are the wild mods. So really what we're looking for on the railgun, more so than most weapons, is an abundance of wild mods. If we can find chaotic ambition, which gives us more wild mod choices in every level up, then we will take that instantly. Probably 2 of them if we find it. Ooh, grandeur. Grandeur, I think I'll pick up one of. Grandeur gives us +2 levels, but gives us plus size and minus thrust. So that's not great to have in large amounts, but I'll pick up one of them for +2 levels. I don't want any more guidance as well. It does increase our projectile targeting. It reduces our velocity rate of fire, which is quite bad for the railgun. Quite very bad for the railgun. None of these things here are damage. Here's our burst fire. This is where the damage starts to get to ridiculous levels. Phantom strike, we'll save that for another one. I'll pick up shield durability because it's quite good, and barrier because it's also extremely good. Yeah. So now we have a lot of things on screen, and we don't have a lot of things on screen anymore. That's how the railgun works. You just burst fire and everything on screen goes away. It doesn't really matter what it is, except for the biggest of bosses. Barrage. This upgrade right here is what makes this my favorite. Where once we had a slow firing burst of railgun rounds, now we have a minigun. This is a minigun that shoots railgun projectiles. It's a little bit strong. as we just kind of destroyed all the internals on this. It's this is what makes this my favorite weapon, because I can just keep firing and everything goes away. Yeah, let me go ahead and get some levels out of this. I don't really want to touch the constructs here, but for additional thrust, I'm more than happy to pick up. I don't think there are any more red upgrades that I want out of this. I think everything else is just pretty much wild mods and then some HP. I need a little bit more HP, some survivability upgrades. But outside of that, just give me those twin strikes, give me those burst shots, give me that bonus damage output. Super Mod Mastery, like I can't turn that down. That's 5% rate of fire, 5% flat damage, and 5% projectile damage, which is just more added on to our damage multiplier. Come on. Go away, giant pink thing. You're not welcome in this land. Ow. Yeah. The Railgun does particularly well versus the snake-like creatures, just because it has a flak scatter effect, like shotgun effect every time. Revelation. This is an instant pickup every time, because that gives us 3 wild mods for the cost of 2, which is very, very good. So I want more of that in my life. Like, if I could have more than 1 revelation, I would absolutely have more than 1 revelation. But I'm only allowed 1 revelation. That makes me sad, but to be fair, it's probably for the best, because it would be the most broken thing in the game. There's Snipe. Not only is it plus 20% projectile velocity, but it also gives us damage at range. So that's just going to be the death of absolutely everything on screen. If only I had some stabilization so I could fly backwards while doing it. Oh no, it just ate my XP. Well, no XP, come back. Okay, I should just stop firing at anything that's not directly next to me so I can pick up the XP from it. Nope, I see you there. Loot snake, no! Okay. I do not like the black holes. They eat everything. They eat everything. All of my experience points, all of my enemies, sometimes even me. It's not a good time, you know? Alright. Twin Strike. Oh, this is amazing. This is going to give us so much more rate of fire. So not only am I going to get 1 Twin Strike, but I have Revelations. We're going to get 3 Twin Strikes out of this. So now we have plus 3 projectiles added into each burst. I need to start... That's going to be a ridiculous amount of damage output. So I need to start working on whole strength here. Now watch this. Oh, I need to back away from here. Oh, this is so much fun. This build is so good. It's just so satisfying. So I want to back away from you. I don't even have to worry about anything else. Just go away. Watch his HP just vanish. Yep, that's why I like the Railgun, because it's also a minigun. It's just very, very strong. And more importantly, it's satisfying. Like, I could go for some super high score run, but most importantly, this is just fun. Like, come on. We just clearing screens at a time. I'm going to pick up Juggernaut here, and then eventually work my way toward Streamline to undo the size. Double tap and Twin Strike are instant pickups every time. Doesn't really matter what else is on screen, barring some Advent emergency. I can literally just sit in the middle, just sit and spin, and everything goes away. Oh, I could do that, but then I would be missing out on all the XP from the things I blow up, so gotta be careful doing that. Hello, big pink thing. Welcome back. Actually, you're not welcome back. I misspoke. I'm so accustomed to being nice and polite. I do not like you. Go away. Okay, what is the next thing available to us here? Candescence. It's okay. Absorption. I don't need... Ideally, I skip that one, just because it's not a high-quality upgrade. This one's quite nice. I could go with Splinter. I don't know that I really need the additional... It is just straight... Yeah, it's minus 15% rate of fire, though, which is... Oof. It is quite the oof. I'm pretty certain the minus 15% rate of fire is not made up by the mini projectiles. Okay. Incendiary Strike is pretty okay. I would rather reroll into Regeneration. Sweet Jesus. Can't believe I didn't have that already. Regeneration is very good. And again, it isn't that far after the ring boss. Every time I see that ring boss, I think of the large Trade Federation droid controlled ships from Star Wars. Why can't I remember their name right now? I would recognize it if I saw it written down, or I saw it reading, because that's usually where I see it. Let's see. Do I want any of these? Not really. Force armor. That's just flat 10% damage resistance to my hull, which is very good. Don't mind if I do. Lucre Hulk. That's what I'm thinking of. That's the name of it. It just took a moment to come back to me. It's like I've read it so many times. It's in my vocabulary somewhere. You know, now that I think about it, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that, if I pronounced that correctly. I'm now very anxious. Did I pronounce that correctly? I have no idea. I read it, and then I realize that most of the words I read, I never actually pronounce aloud. Sometimes I just mess them up so much. It can be embarrassing at times, you know? Let's get an upgrade before we fully take on the pink monster. One more reroll. We'll expend it here. Deadly Wake, efficiency. None of these things I'm going to use particularly. However, I think the one that will do least damage to me here is going to be probably Deadly Wake. Efficiency will never be used. This is minus damage. This is minus HP. This is okay. It's not bad. But it's also recursive, so it's not going to get out of my loot pool. If I pick this up, this will pollute my pool with 2 low-value upgrades. If I take this, it's gone and it's not coming back. It's going to be a question between Adaptive Armor and Deadly Wake. I think Deadly Wake is the way to go. As Adaptive Armor, it's not terrible, but 1% damage resistance whenever you get hit also isn't that great. So, like, you're not going to get more than like 10 stacks, just like 10% damage resistance, which, considering you only have 100 HP, generally by the time you get hit 10 times, you're usually quite dead. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this guy up, because I have no more rerolls, and I don't really have anything else. Streamline, Chaotic Ambition. I'm going to pick up Chaotic Ambition here. And I could just play till I get more rerolls, is the thing. You know what? Let me do that. +3 plating. Let me do that. Let me just get some more rerolls before dealing with that. Let's clear this guy out real quick. Yep, that's gonna be nice. Do we get a reroll out of it? Got a reroll out of that. Nice. Reroll this away. Shield cooldown is quite nice. Evolutionary niche. I could do that. That could be a custom. I could do that. That's increased to my body, which is 1% of 8% is not all that, or 10% of 8% is not that high of an increase. 10% of 15%, also not that high of an increase, but you know, it's not terrible. I could pick this up, and there's the streamline. It is, of course, reduced to the whole HP, but it is a reduction in size as it is a speed increase. Which, both of those things make me very happy. No, getting sucked into the black hole. I just picked up. Oh! The orange fister came in just in time to dispel the black hole and save my experience points from going away. I need to get in close and collect my experience from destroying his components. Thank you. And then we stay away and nuke him from afar with our sniper rifle minigun. That's gotta be that would be an overpowered weapon in every other game. It would straight up be a ridiculous weapon in every other game. That's not to say it isn't a ridiculous weapon here. I think I have so many projectiles on screen that we actually suffered a small frame rate drop there, which is kind of awkward. Ooh, Minnow. Well, I can't banish this guy. This is an auto pickup. Otherwise, I would like Minnow for the minus size. And plus rerolls would be quite good too. Do I care about any of these things? Nope. If I pick this up, this is quite good. Don't get me wrong. This is better. Give me rerolls and stop diluting my loot pool with less good upgrades. The chaotic orbs I do actually enjoy, because especially considering going for such a heavy Luke, I need to not fire on these because my shields are down. Alright, just manage the chip damage. We'll be fine. Shields are back up. We can fire on those mines again. Just remember, if you can't really dodge the mines, you just take chip damage. You have to put yourself in a scenario where you can survive the chip damage. And I could have survived it, but I'd rather have my shields up so I don't have to worry about it. There we go. Alright, good job, team. We cleared everything out. Beautiful. Let's get another upgrade here. Stabilization. Very good. Do I want to roll for more wild mods? Or do I just want to pick up stabilization? I think I want to pick up stabilization for the agility soon thereafter. The 10% thrust on the strafe upgrade is quite nice as well. But I'm not too worried about that right now. But right now with the stabilization I can actually fly backwards, so whenever he comes to get me I can just go off the back of the screen. Not that I have to worry about that because, you know, we can just dump him full with perfectly accurate sniper minigun rounds and he doesn't get an opportunity to fire at us at all, which is a lot more effective than I keep forgetting how effective that is. Like, it's just extremely effective. Thank you. Give me XP. Good job, team. Dodge this. Snake through all those rounds, and oh, fire snake! Come back. Go away. I like how the knockback on that weapon, against the fire snakes, really throws them off course as much as it does. Oh, we lost our shields to retaliation damage. This is fine. Rotation speed, very good. I want to pick you up. Grandeur, I don't want to pick up grandeur again. I already have one of them, and I don't want to be any bigger and thicker. Not about mobility is life. Speed is key. I can live without the +2 levels. I can absolutely survive. If I were to do something like a, I don't know, like a snake build, I should do a snake build, because grandeur on the snake build is quite good. Well, hello, watching your HP just chunk away is very satisfying, I must admit. The moment he starts railgunning, I must start dodging. But I can just dodge back and forth on the spot, because I am very nimble. I don't have to worry about anything else coming after me. And I can fly around and collect all the goodies over here before they despawn. Excellent. All these tiny sniper ships thinking they can outsnipe me. Aha! For I am the sniper minigun. It is extremely powerful. It is everything that I look forward to. Okay, let me go ahead and get another upgrade here. I got 13 rerolls from that minnow upgrade. Supermod last stand. Don't mind if I do. Plus 100% experience earned from orbs after you die. Well, what that one does is after you explode, you respawn, and you get bonus experience points from every orb that you pick up. So it's actually it's like a second life. Now, of course, it does come with a downside, and that downside is minus 75% hull and shield. So pretty much the moment you die the first time, you are going to die the second time. But sometimes you don't, and sometimes you can get a little bit extra score with it, and it's quite good. Sometimes. Most of the time I don't bother picking it up because it's not worth it, but sometimes I do. This time I did. Mostly because I wanted another opportunity to use this weapon, because clearly once you clear the screen, there's no stopping you from continuing to clear the screen. And if something horrible happens to me, like getting sucked into a black hole and I expire, then well, I can just keep going mostly untouched. And again, I really wouldn't get sucked into a black hole. Like, I have enough thrust, I can just straight thrust out of it. I only picked up one grandeur, and I have plenty of thrust bonuses to go with it, so probably don't even have to worry about that. We're just gonna go forever. That's how this railgun works, because it's hilariously broken. Okay, double tap. Did I pick up 2 evolutionary niches? I only picked up 1, but there are 2 voids, which means we're running out of things in the loot pool, which means more wild mods will be showing up, which Makes me happy. We finally collected all the upgrades we can, which is very good. As we spin around in circles and just blow everything up. I gotta be careful doing this, because if I do this, then the XP starts outside the screen and I can't see it, and then it despawns and then I don't get the XP. So I kind of want to actually give the enemies a little bit of mercy by letting them on screen before blowing them up. So otherwise, it literally hurts me by not getting the XP out of it. So it's kind of an issue at times. Or I could just do what I'm doing now and fly around the corners of the screen and hope I get to the XP before it despawns, which sometimes works. Alright, nice. Incandescence. Incendiary Strike is quite nice. Let me reroll for some better upgrades here. Power Reserves I don't need because I don't take any mobility suffrages from my weapon firing. Let me just keep rerolling and see if I can't get wild mods. This is going to be quite nice. More wild mods. More wild mods. Come on. Give Strafe. I don't really need that right now. An ally upgrade. I don't want to go for constructs. That's so tempting. I don't have one of these yet. This would be nice. Let's pick one of these up. That way we can get a little bit of assistance on the field. It's not much, but it is something. Hello. It could all go away. So we'll have tiny little swarm constructs, and they will help us out, take targets out. Just mostly small things. A little bit of chip damage added in. It is quite nice to have them around. They do a surprising amount of work at times. Oh, get away from the big pink thing. Good thing we are fast. Let's stabilize myself backwards. The damage is being spread between these two. Okay. Very good. So much more damage output is what I want to see. Oh, hello, fire snake. Stop chasing me. I want the fire snake to go away. Well, this shielded thing, it spawns stuff that makes my day rough. The fire snake just comes out of nowhere. It's a little bit more inconsistent to deal with, so I want to deal with it first if at all possible. I like how I just basically wave my shot across the screen and it just flattens everything on the side. Just over-penetrates, and that slaughters, destroys with glorious railgun. Oh, he opened up his core and instantly melted. That's how you handle that. Let's go ahead and get a couple more upgrades here. Don't really want any of these. Like, I could pick some of them up and it wouldn't be bad, but it's also less value than some of these wild mods I can get. And if I could... Okay, so I'm going to pick up Strafe because it's just the best thing out of this lot. I've got 2 rerolls left. 1 reroll left. 7% global damage for 15% friction. I can get used to that. This is minus 7% rate of fire. No thanks. Of all the things, I don't really like messing with the friction too much because it changes how slidey my ship is. I'm okay with a couple upgrades of it, but I like being able to do nimble dodges, and if you drift too much, then it becomes difficult to fit through the literal bullet hell that this game can become sometimes. So I prefer not having too much friction, but good god, plus 7% global damage it's nothing to ignore, let's just put it that way. Especially when you have this kind of firepower coming out of you already. If the downside is a little bit extra friction, like friction isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's usually a good thing because it lets you strafe more. But like, for 7% damage, that's pretty good. Twin strike or double tap, immediately pick that up. That's 7% rate of fire. Don't mind if I do. Give. Okay, so this is the part where I actually struggle to figure out what upgrades I want next. Like, I know what I want. It's more HP apparently. Alright, clear all this out. I gotta stop firing because you regenerate faster passively when not firing. I want him to go away. And then let that go. Just so I can get my shield up faster. I suppose I could go with a bit more stability, so in case something horrendous does happen, I have a better chance of surviving. By horrendous, I mean failing to notice one of the many bright flashing lights that are coming to blow me up. Oh, hello, Orange Fister. Welcome back. You stay over there, please. I'm not too keen to go over there to pick up your XP right now. You can just explode, please. Thank you. Ow! Ow! That's the kind of thing I was talking about. That happens. Okay. I can stability myself off the edge of the world, but I don't think I'll need to. Yeah, okay. Please go away. Good job. There's bosses out of everywhere. We've got a nice distance on him, so we're just gonna nail the center of him, and he's going to go away quite nicely. And now we have a bunch of little allies here. The tiny little mini-boss thinking you can stand against us. You dare stand against the sniper minigun. Does not work very well. Do you think people use the railgun for any other way? It's beautiful. Okay, so let me pick up. Ooh, I could pick up armor. Would it be worth? I don't think so. Let me reroll. Ouch. No more rerolls available to me at the moment. I could do this. It is shield damage resistance. This is none of these other things are useful to me. This is plus 10% weapon damage, minus 10% projectile velocity, and 2% rate of fire, which I'm pretty certain just comes down to negative 2% DPS, which is just never a good thing. I could go for another. I don't want Rampage. The constant power messes me up every time. Well, I guess I can pick up a hold off on that until I pick up these rerolls. Yep, that's a good way to go about it. Hello. Oh, there's another boss on screen. He just spawned in. Oh, dodge, dodge, dodge! No! Okay, well, the boss did not explode. That's really rather unfortunate. Or is that a new one? Nope, that's the same one. I need to make him go away. I need to pick up these these upgrades. Reroll, please. Bonus 5% shields. Let's pick this up for regen option. Okay, not firing. I am regenerating faster. Okay, so now we get levels this much faster. Dodge. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Nova Drift. A few misplays on my part and we explode when the bosses start coming for me. But that is my favorite weapon and the favorite way to use it. If you guys want to see more, perhaps even the giant snake, make sure to hit that like button, get that engagement rate up. And for now, I will see you guys in the next video. Later.